Thank you so much. Cheers. The fucking last Sunday. Yes. How's your Fringe been? Good. Because we've been away for 3 years. So when I was going to come back and I was going to do the Fringe again, I wanted to do it in the kind of rooms I used to do it in when I started doing it. So I went to the Monkey Barrel Comedy Club, one of the best comedy clubs in the whole of the UK. And I said to them, I was like, do you have a room that looks like Hitler might have killed himself in it? Do you have a venue where people can tell I'm taking a shit before the show? Because that's what I need. By fuck, they found one. And I was wondering what to write the show about this year. And I think my favourite thing about the whole festival is the amount of visitors, the tourists that come to see Scotland. And I think it shows how welcoming a country we actually are. Like, give me a cheer if you're from outside the UK. Yeah, 2 of you. Fucking maybe, yeah. That's how welcoming we are. Yeah, fucking, yeah. This is the Brexit we voted for, my man, isn't it? Yeah, fucking, yeah. Let's turn this into a rally. Come on. Where are you from? Indonesia. Nice. The first Indonesian person I've ever had my show. Thank you so much for coming. This blew me away, right? I found this out before the festival. Apparently, Edinburgh is the most popular tourist destination for Americans, right? I assumed it would have been London, but apparently it's Edinburgh. And I wondered why that might be. And I think the reason is a gun going off at 1 p.m. every day. Right. Reminds them of high school. And I think it's just that... I think it's that nostalgia that just brings them back. Yeah. That's how we're starting the show. Fucking school shootings. There we go. Because listen, I don't know how we solve the gun problem. I don't. You know, I don't think arming teachers is the way. Like, are there any teachers here? Yeah. You're not the most stable of people, are you? You're not like you're a very unpredictable alcoholic group of folk. So, I reckon if we armed you, half the class would be dead by midday. So it's not a. Because I've never fired a gun. You ever fired a gun? Yeah. Where are you from? America. Fucking yes. Oh my God. Please stand up and show everyone what you're wearing. Please turn around. Look at that, for fuck's sake. The sheer fucking confidence. Yeah, don't do that, man. It's not fucking Love Island, all right? It's... Do you own a gun?
Yeah, several.
Fucking, oh my God, I couldn't have asked for a better person in the front row. Because listen, I'd love to fire a gun. You know, no, because maybe, we'll see how the hour goes. Well, are we flirting now? Is this like, yeah. Because guns are cool. Let's not piss about here. They are cool. They are. But there's places you can do it. You know, there's ranges if you want to fire a gun, so it stops people like you keeping 16 of them in your house, you know. There has to be rules and regulations with things. Like, I love sharks, but there are rules and laws against me keeping one in my bath, you know, so it means that I have to go to a sea life centre anytime I want to fuck one. So, has to be that. And there is a reason I start with talking about gun control. Because during the recent tragedy, I saw an American guy getting interviewed on CNN, right? And he's standing there with a huge big assault rifle. And he's going like that. He's going, my gun is my identity. Right? My identity is my gun. Me and my gun, same identity, right? Now, I know that's a very bad American accent, right? I don't know why he had it, but it's that. And it is the second stupidest thing I've ever heard an American say. Right? I'm not gonna take the piss, but it's the second stupidest thing I've ever heard an American say. Okay, stupidest thing I've ever heard. I used to have an American therapist. Right now, I've gone through therapy. Now, you don't need to worry. This isn't a show about mental health. Okay, I had mental health problems way before they were trendy. Like, honestly, I was one of the OGs. Honestly, And I've solved my mental health problems because I've realised I don't actually suffer from severe depression. I am simply reacting exactly as you should to how shite the world is, right? So, if you're sitting there having gone through a once-in-a-generation pandemic, the second that stopped, a world war started, which has led to a cost-of-living crisis. People can't drive their cars. People can't heat their homes. People can't feed themselves. If you're sitting there going, this is fine, you're the one with the fucking problem. Honestly, I used to get so miserable and so depressed about the state of the world. And then in June, I was walking along the street and I saw a woman walking a dog, and the dog was wearing a sash which said "Mummy to be." And I thought, just fucking end this. End it. End it. Like I don't care who does it. I don't care if it's Putin, North Korea, the Sun. Just fucking end this, honestly. Like, tell you how mental the last 3 years have been. The Taliban came back. The fucking Taliban. Nobody even remembers. They just showed up one day like some kind of reunion tour. And they didn't announce their return in the usual way. They didn't commit an atrocity or make a grand statement. No, how they did it was they bought Newcastle United. What an incredibly philanthropic way to announce your return. And people were furious about it. I wasn't. If there is one area of the whole of the UK that I think needs the burqa, it is the northeast of England. Honestly, I'd put it on women, men, babies. Honestly, cover them up. Hideous creatures. So, stupidest thing I've ever heard an American say. She said to me one day during a session, she said, "Mark, you think you're trash, but that doesn't mean you can't succeed. You have to remember, it's called a garbage can, not a garbage can't." So I said, I think you'll find it's called a bin. But it got me thinking, because as wrong as that guy might be with a gun, at least he has a sense of his identity, and it's something I feel that I've lost in the past 3 years. So I thought I'd write a show about identity. Now, this is my identity, okay? I'm not going to cover identity in general, right? I'm not going to touch the trans issue, because I'm not fucking mental, right? I still have a mortgage to pay, so... All you need to know is, whatever you think about the trans issue, I also think the same. Right? Whatever your opinion is, me too, honestly. I do feel sorry for J.K. Rowling fans. I do, because they've lost her. Like, because J.K. Rowling's never been my favourite author, because I'm not a child. Like, if you're 40 years old and J.K. Rowling's still your favourite author, to read a lot more books. But I feel sorry because I know what that's like. I know what it's like to have a hero, an idol, someone you have put on a pedestal, and you find out about their views, their opinions, their actions, and you can't enjoy their work anymore. I know exactly what that's like. I used to be a huge fan of the work of R. Kelly. I was. And then I found out he's also a singer. And I was like, oh my God, like, oh. Can't watch any of these videos now. So I reckon I've got four different strands of my identity, okay? I'm a comedian, I'm Scottish, I'm a father, and I'm a man, right? And all four of these came to a head. They all collided one day in one incident. I was picking my son up from school. I have a 6-year-old son called Seamus. I pick him up from school every day, and him and his friends, while they're waiting for their parents, they all play football, right? They've got massively into football. And it's awesome. If any of you have young boys or young girls that have got into football, you have to watch them play. It's so funny, right? Because when I was growing up, it was never on TV, whereas now they get to see it most nights. So what they do is they start imitating the actions of the stars. It's hilarious. They'll be playing a game and one of them will fall over and they'll call for VAR. It's amazing. Like, there was one wee guy scored and he slid down on his knees pointing up to a dead relative. Like that, just like that. Like, this one's for you, Nan. Like, honestly. They copy everything. Last week, one of my wee boy's pals sexually assaulted a woman. That's how much they idolise these guys. So where the school is, right, there's a football pitch, there's a huge fence, and then there's the car park. So one day, drove into the car park, parked the car. As I was getting out the car, one of his friends hoofed the ball over the fence, and it was coming towards me. And I heard them all yell, "Kick it back, Seamus's dad, kick it back," right? And I have never felt such pressure in my life because I realised this was a pivotal moment in his school development. Because if I hit this back sweetly on the volley, it's going to make his entire school day so much easier. People will just be like, "Your dad's a legend. You're a legend." Whereas if I miss it, he's going to get bullied for years. Right? In hindsight, I should have let it bounce. Right? No. I saw the glory, and I went for the volley, and I fresh-aired it, and I landed on Mars. And I could just hear all these wee friends laughing, and there was other parents laughing, and some of the teachers were hanging out the windows laughing, and I just looked up to see this incredibly sad, gutted, disappointed face on my wee boy, and I felt terrible. But I realised that was all 4 aspects of my identity coming together in that one moment. Because, like, I'm a man, right? So society, rightly or wrongly, dictates that I should be able to hit that back on the volley, right? Yeah. But I'm also a comedian, and I made loads of people laugh, you know? I'm a father, so I should have been able to do something to make him proud. But I'm also Scottish. So I'm going to be shite at football. So, you know. So we'll take them one by one. Comedian first, because this show's called Comedian. It's called Comedian in inverted commas. And it's largely because I've not really felt like a comedian in the past 3 years. Because work was all taken away from us. We didn't get to do gigs like this. And as good as the online stuff was, I felt like I wasn't actually working anymore. I felt like I'd kind of lost a purpose and usefulness in my life, particularly in my family, because I was there when I would normally be away, and I felt like I was this cog that was just thrown back into this engine that my kids and my wife had going, and I was just fucking things up. I was branched out to do other jobs, right? I did a lot of queuing as a dad. A hell of a lot of queuing in this country. I used to queue for hours to buy food that we would then disinfect before we'd allow back in our house. It's like a weird time, just standing on your doorstep with a baby wipe and a cucumber. Just, I think it's safe. Just mental. My main achievement during the whole of lockdown was I became fat. Yeah. I mean, I became fatter, let's be honest. Became huge. Massive fucking fat as well. Took me ages to get it off. I've lost a stone in the past month. Yeah. No, not that many people. Not Americans, you love that kind of shit. Here, nobody cares. Nobody really cares if you've lost weight when you're still a fat bastard. Folk are just looking at you going, well, you've still got a fair bit to go, so let's not rest on our laurels here. I have what is affectionately known as a dad bod. Right? I have a dad bod if your dad is also a fat cunt. Somebody asked me if I'm beach body ready, and I am beach body ready. If that beach is Irvine Beach, and the body is being dredged. I got massive, huge. I bought scales to see how bad it had got. Weighed myself. I'd gone up to 230 pounds. Right? Now, to put that in some kind of perspective, the day before I weighed myself, me and my son watched a WWE Royal Rumble. The winner of that was only 214 pounds. I was now heavier than a professional wrestler. Like, when you realise The Rock only has to lose 6 pounds and suddenly it's a fair fight between the two of you, I'm like, yeah. And it wasn't even my fault. I was seduced. Where I live, where all the supermarkets are, there's a roundabout. And on different edges of the roundabout, there's a McDonald's, a Burger King, and a KFC, right? I have never seen the Holy Trinity together anywhere else, right? And they seduced me every day, the three of them. They would come out, the Colonel, the King, and the creepy clown. They'd come out and they were like, come on. Leave the queue, come on. And I would, and I'd go in, and I'd order a big fat bastard tapas. I'd get the burger from Burger King, I'd get the fries from McDonald's, and then I'd get chicken on the side. And it used to take about 2 hours. It was like 15 minutes of me eating it, and then an hour and 45 of me just crying in my car. Just, oh God, no. I've done it again. I used to lie about where I'd been. I used to lie to my wife about why I'd been away so long. One day she found KFC wrappers in the glove compartment, and I panicked and just went, I've been fucking a woman that loves chicken. Like, it's just like ridiculous behaviour. That's what it was like back then. That's what it was like. Every single one of us during that pandemic became a bellend. We did. To varying levels, we all became bellends. And it will take us years to recover from this. And I think when we're coming out of it, I think we can look back on some stuff and realise and admit a lot of it was ridiculous. Right? I'm going to give you 4 truths about COVID. Right? The first one's going to be very easy for you to agree with, and then they're going to get progressively harder for you to accept. Right? Right. Number 1, I don't think Boris Johnson deserved to live. Yeah. Very popular. Very popular. Yeah. Not back then, it wasn't. No, we couldn't say that. Say that on social media. People are angry. People are going, oh, you can't say that. You can't say that man's a father. That man is a father of, I don't know how many. That man's a father of an indiscriminate amount of children. You can't wish death on someone. And I didn't want Boris Johnson to die in the hospital of coronavirus. I didn't. I wanted Boris Johnson to die in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, right? Stuck in traffic behind a load of lorries filling in unnecessary paperwork. That's what I wanted. Yeah. And he's gone now. You know Boris Johnson? You know who he is? Is he German? No. No, he's not. He's like our Trump. Yeah. No, he's not cool. Oh, the fun we're going to have in the next hour. Oh. So he's still going to be here for 7 days. Are you a fan of Boris Johnson? You're not at all? No, not a fan at all? No, you will be. Oh, you will be. Oh, you will. Oh, when you realise the evil that's about to hit us, oh, you'll be a fan. Yeah. He was just having a laugh. That's all he was. Just a guy having a laugh. Huh. Just a guy who realises he's shite at his job, so he's just going to have a laugh. That's all it was. Just a big alcoholic shagger having a laugh. Huh. Whereas the next two, we have a contest just now, a leadership contest in the Tory party, right? And like 0.6% of the population are going to get to decide our new leader. It's a wonderful system. And there's two of them. There's two of them going for it, right? And they're both dead. There's a guy, Rishi Sunak. There's Rishi Sunak, that fucking slimy, greasy car salesman prick, just like fucking like that. He's like an apprentice contestant. Like, you know, like gets voted off in the 6th week because he doesn't know what a toilet brush is. Like, it's just like... And he's the best option. He's the lesser of the two evils. Liz Truss, the woman who's going to win it. Fuck it. Like, do you know, Liz Truss, she's like the first prototype of a sex doll. You know when they've not added any of the features, they're just seeing if it can stand up on its own. She keeps emulating Thatcher. She keeps dressing and acting and talking like Margaret Thatcher. I hope she emulates Thatcher the day she had a stroke. Horrible. Boris, just having a laugh, wasn't he? Just having a laugh. You have to admire the man. You have to admire the balls on the guy. Just the sheer balls to think he could get away with all that stuff. The Partygate thing, honestly. For 2 months, the nation was gripped but didn't know. For 2 months, he was at the parties, but he also wasn't at the parties, right? Like Schrodinger's twat. Right. That is the only intelligent joke in this entire show, so thank you. Just the excuses, the gall of the man, the excuses, the work event excuse. To say that you thought those people were working, you thought it was a work event. Who's walking around their own garden, watching people tanning red wine, eating sausage rolls and going, he's a grafter. How the fucking... He doesn't care, he doesn't give a shit. He never has. He got sucked off in the Foreign Office while he was Foreign Minister. Someone walked in. What must that look like? Must look like someone trying to resuscitate a jelly baby. It's like... And he's created this entire culture now where none of them care. None of them care about anything they do. They do what they want. They wank. They wank in Parliament now. They wank during the day, watching porn in public. What kind of self-confidence does it take to watch pornography in public? I remember one day I forgot to connect my headphones to my phone, right? Two Become One by the Spice Girls came on. I was so embarrassed I nearly threw myself in front of a train. Like, what kind of confidence does it take to watch porn? What are they wanking to anyway? What are Tories wanking to these days? Was it just a video of a single mother struggling to feed her 2 kids? Just, oh God, oh yes, oh God, oh. And a video of Grenfell coming down, just, It's a horrible situation, but luckily, we have a saviour. We have a man called Keir Starmer who's going to save us. Oh, you won't know Keir Starmer. Oh, what a man. Oh, you've got Superman in your front. He should have it tattooed in his chest, the guy. Never met a more principled man than Keir. Oh, you know exactly where you are with Keir Starmer. You know his views on everything. He's got the fucking backbone of a slinky. You know what I'll describe Keir Starmer to you. Keir Starmer is the human equivalent of that soggy piece of cloth you get under mince. Just a pointless. Right. So that's the first truth. Second one. Does anyone in here work for the NHS? Yeah. What do you do? Clinical research. Were you busy during the pandemic? Yeah. Were you? Was there much research going on? Or maybe more fucking research should have been over sooner? Yes. Were you in every day, PPE'd up? No, of course, no. See, how normally this bit goes is I'll say I work for the NHS, and then there'll be a nurse, and then I'll say, oh my God, thanks so much for your service, and then the second truth is that not all NHS staff deserved all those claps and applause, and it's good to see a live example of someone who didn't, like, it genuinely, like, because it's not you didn't. No, of course not. Admin staff and cunty receptionists. Waltzing about like that. Oh, thank you, my key worker. No, applause isn't for you. Your entire job is to tell people on a phone for 15 minutes every day there's no appointments left. That's it. And it's ruined. It's ruined our appreciation of genuine heroes in the NHS. Tell you another thing it's ruined. It's ruined it for guys like me that used to find women dressed as nurses quite sexy. That stopped. You couldn't do that. Get my wife to dress up, and then 8 o'clock would roll around, and I'd have to get out of her and stand at the end of the bed, just like that. Hey. Any idea how hard it is to maintain an erection when you've got a frying pan and a wooden spoon? That's like... So, that's the second one. Third one. Here we go. Not all old people deserve to survive. Now, yeah. Now, obviously, some of you in here, you did. Right? You did. You did. And I respect that. I respect that you've come to the show. You've come in here for the heat. I love it. I genuinely, like, I'm just, just try to stock up for that long winter ahead where the battle with N-Power continues. But not, like, because at least you're doing stuff. But some old people, honestly, just taking vaccine after vaccine after vaccine. I've got my life back. What life? What have we given you, a week? What? All we've done is allow another letter to get into the council. That's literally it. And don't all act like we love old people in this country, right? We should love old people, but for years we've been blaming old people for everything. Brexit, fucking old people. Climate change, fucking old people. Financial crash, fucking old people. And they're like, oh, we love old people now. Huh. Young people, say I feel sorry for. Anyone here under the age of 25? Yeah, stick your hands up. Yeah, you're under the age of 25? Yeah, how old are you? 23, and is this your boyfriend? How old are you? 25, you fucking pedo. God. When you were 2, she was a baby. God. Just try to sleep and you're poking your wee thing through the back like that. Disgusting. You're still young. I feel sorry for you both. I do. What's your name, sir? Alex and Miranda. Alex and Miranda. I feel sorry for you as young people. And all young people are in here. Because you were promised that old people would die. You were promised that. You were promised if you put your life on hold and you miss out on all the developmental things and the fun that young people should actually have, and then you wait to get the vaccine at the very last, the back of the queue, you were told that they would die, shuffle off, and then you'd get a fairer slice of society. And it's not happened because they're still here and you're still the ones getting shafted on everything. I think it's fucking ridiculous. Because I used to hate young people. I do. But now I feel sorry. I feel an affinity with you. Because it's the one culture war I quite like, right? Because it's always been here, right? It's not a media-created thing to create division. It's always been young people and old people. We should hate each other. We should. We should hate each other's haircuts, the way we dress, each other's music. We could. Because we've got a good thing going on. We get to slag each other off a lot. I'm trying to be like, how old are you, my man? Yeah. 58, right? What's your name? Mark, right? So, 2 Marks. You 2, right? You can take the piss out of me and Mark. Yeah. If we ever get technology wrong, or if we ever call a meme a meme, you can say stuff to me and him like, hey, boomer. And then we get to live in the houses that we own. So it's a good balance. And are you worried about it? Because you're generally getting, are you worried about climate change, Miranda? You're worried about it. Because it's a serious fucking thing, like you see it even this summer. Because we had the climate change conference in Glasgow, where I live, last year. COP26. COP26? There's been 25 of those things. No one's ever given a shit about any of them before. Right. You put it in Scotland, and it gives Scottish people a chance to moan about anything. People that didn't even live in Glasgow moaning. People in Dundee going, can't fucking move in Glasgow because of that COP26. People live in high-rise flats going, my garden bin hasn't been taken for weeks. This is ridiculous. Rats. No one ever seen a rat. Suddenly there's rats everywhere. People phoning in radio shows going, got in the bus to work this morning. Fucking rat driving the bus. That's it. Like, that's Sturgeon, Scotland, giving rats jobs now. I thought it was brilliant. Properly put the city on the map. Everybody came. Huge stuff. Joe Biden, American president, the most powerful man in the world. 80-year-old Joe Biden came to Glasgow and immediately became the oldest man who has ever been in Glasgow. Just by 30 years. Like, honestly. People thought it was E.T. They're like, what the fuck is that? It's great. Everybody came. Greta Thunberg came. That was huge. Greta Thunberg came. And the day after she came, Leonardo DiCaprio came, presumably to try and fuck Greta Thunberg. But try not to worry about it too much, Miranda, honestly. Try not. Because I think it will get fixed, I do. I think once they start throwing money at it, it'll get fixed. Because there's no profit to be made in saving the world just now. But there will be. And once the conglomerates and all that realise that, they throw money at it, it'll be fine. It's like the vaccine. Throw money at it, get sorted. Right? And even if it doesn't, right? Even if it doesn't. Like, Mark, have you got kids? Yes. Yeah? Have you got grandkids? Not yet, right? But see, the thing is, Mark, climate change, it won't affect me and you. It won't. Right? We'll get some cracking summers. We will. Right? We will. Right? And we'll enjoy them guilt-free, of course. That's why it pisses me off when actual hot countries tell us to recycle. You've had your good times. You fucking sort it out. We enjoying it now. It won't even affect our kids, Mark. It won't. It won't even affect our kids. But it might affect our kids' kids. Fuck them. I don't give a shit about them. Oh, I couldn't care less about my great-great-grand. I'm never meeting them. The amount I drink, I'll be lucky if I walk my daughter down the aisle. I'm never meeting my great-great. Even if we did meet them, Mark, what pains in the arses they would be. Coming into me and you, going, be in our TikTok video. And me and you like that, fuck off. We've got statues to defend. So don't worry about it, Miranda. Honestly. Right. Number 4. Here we go. Captain Tom. Right. I'll explain in a minute. Right. Now, I have no problem with the man himself. Right. I have a problem. I have a problem with the hysteria that was created in this country. Right. Now, the NHS, right, where this gentleman works. You know of the NHS? Are you American as well? Australian. You're Australian, right? So what's healthcare like in Australia? Is it free? Do you have to get insurance, or is it mostly free, right? Whereas America, you've got your insurance, or you have to pay for it through the nose when you get it, right? What it does is it creates an imbalanced system where the rich can afford to be healthy, the poor can't afford to get sick, right? That doesn't happen in this country. We have a thing called the NHS, which is this most incredible thing, the best socialist thing that has ever happened to this country. It is the proper bedrock. It's the glue that cements British society together. It's almost like a religion, right? That's how important the NHS is to us. So can you believe, as important as it is, for 2 months, our NHS was entirely funded by an old man walking around his garden? What a mental sentence that is. Every day he'd just get up and taking ages. And you might not think it was that big a deal, but you don't think they noticed that? Do you not think Westminster are currently looking at the energy crisis and going, get hamster wheels in care homes? Come on, let's fucking... Every day, what the sad thing was, he didn't even want to do it. He didn't. He's a war hero. Just wanted to enjoy his retirement, but no. Every day his daughter would kick him out of bed. She's like, come on, you. Come on, you lazy old prick. Come on. Come on, there's T-shirts to be sold. Come on. You think you're suffering? I've got to hide this money somehow. So come on. Such a bizarre, weird country. Let me take the piss at other countries. What a weird fucking country we are. That deference we have to war heroes, because none of us in here have ever been in a war, so we don't immediately get that respect. We pass it on. It's like the Royals, right? Is there any Royals fans in here? Anyone fans of Royals? Yeah? No. Please stick your hand up, the Royals fan. Yeah, you're a big fan of the Royals. That's absolutely. You love the Queen? Yeah, of course you do. She's always the one that gets the pass. Always the one that gets the free pass, the Queen. Even people that don't like the Royals, they always go, oh, God, I can't stand the Royals. The Queen's all right, though. Yeah. I like the Queen. She's all right. She's all right, the Queen, yeah. Is she? Is she all right? Is she? Is the Queen all right? Or is she just a really shite mum? Right. Yeah. Is she just a really terrible mother when you look at her back catalogue? Because if you take the Queen out of that lineage and out of that aristocratic background, you take the Queen, you stick the same woman in a council estate, different story, isn't it? Yeah. Woman in a council estate whose eldest son constantly cheated on his wife and then had her murdered. Yeah. Yeah. Daughter's an alcoholic. Youngest son's a paedophile. Yeah. She's not going to be the subject of a Netflix drama. The subject of a Channel 5 documentary. That's what she is. Mental. With the Jubilee. Fucking Jubilee, right? I was in Bath, in England, during the Jubilee. Huge street party was going on, and this pub had organised. I spoke to the landlord, and I said, oh, it looks like it's going really well. And he said, yeah, we're so relieved, actually, because after the sad death of the Duke of Edinburgh last year, we wanted to make sure we added a lot more colour to the Jubilee. And I said, if there is anything that man wouldn't have wanted. Yeah. You have desecrated his memory today. See, with the petrol prices going up and the energy prices going up, right? People always ask, when's it enough? When's it enough? When are we going to riot? When's that tipping point? When will the British people riot? Never. We will never riot. We are the most passive, accepting, placid people in the world. Right? Prince Andrew is the perfect example of that. He's been getting away with that for years, and we've done nothing. Right? We paid for it. Taxpayers' money allowed him to pay off a woman he's never met. Right? I don't remember that in my tax return. I don't remember looking down and going, nonce-tax? What the fuck? Like, what? A fucking fortune this year. What? Like? Of course, he wasn't at the Jubilee, Prince Andrew. He went because he had coronavirus. Did he? Did he have coronavirus, or was it 28 degrees and he says he can't sweat? Maybe it was it. COVID-19, probably about 6 years too old for Prince Andrew. And in Scotland, as a country, I imagine a lot of Scottish people here, we're going to get a chance to escape all that. We're going to get a chance to escape Westminster and the Royals and stuff like that. We're probably going to happen next year. Probably going to have another independence referendum. And I don't even know how I feel about that anymore. I used to be a huge supporter of independence, but I don't think the SNP are doing a good enough job for me to fully back them anymore. And I don't want the division and the anger and the hatred that it'll inevitably cause. And I don't even know if Scotland has its own identity anymore. We're so desperate. Like I live in Glasgow. Give me a cheer for from Glasgow. Yeah, woo, fucking all right. Yeah. Don't ever do that in Glasgow, because it's not the Fringe over there, son. Because I have to defend Glasgow quite a lot. Like, I travel about the UK, and people always dismiss Glasgow. I have to defend it, and I will always defend it. I'll always defend it. I love the city. I'm finding it harder to defend it when it's used as a backdrop for every Batman film. I'll be honest. Like, I don't really like the idea of location meetings happening in Hollywood, where they're sitting around a table going, "We need somewhere really grim. We just need a really bleak, dark, hopeless, violent, rainy landscape. And just one wee guy goes, I know a fucking place. And you watch the film completely differently. Like, have you seen the Batman film? Yeah, you watch it so differently when you know the locations. Like you'll be sitting there in the cinema, and you'll see this scene where this gang of demented clowns will attack an innocent bystander, and then Batman will swing in and save the day, and you'll just lean over to the person in the cinema next to you and nudge them and go, I fingered your mum in that alley. So, you were conceived in the Batcave. That's why you're called Bruce. Let's go and pick up your big sister, World War Z. I love doing that. I've started showing wee boy films now. Because, Mark, how many kids have you got? 2 kids. And are they grown up now, or are they... That's one there. Right, how old are you, my man? 23. Good dad. Yeah. Do you think you'd because you're now being able to tell, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing at all. And you never really do until they get to that kind of age, whether you've done a good job. So unfair. Because I've got 2 heroes in my life, right? I'll tell you about one in a minute. My first hero is my dad. I love my dad. I worship my dad. I think he's amazing. But when you go through therapy, there comes stages where you start unpicking bits of the past, and you realise the stuff your parents have done, right? Involuntary. They've not meant to do it, but there's certain things they've done that have fucked you up in the future, right? And that's why that's why I was so gutted about that day with the football. My wee boy, you know. My other hero is, it's quite sad, James Bond. I love James Bond, I do. Because he's a proper man. You're a man. You're a fucking proper. What is your name? Matthew. You're a proper fucking man. Matt. Can I call you Matt? Would you allow me to call you? Matt, yeah, thank you. God, fucking, it means so much, Matt. Fucking huge, Matthew. Never, so intimidated. Because I do. I get proper. Tradesmen are the worst. They're ultimate men. I get so nervous. The way I compensate with tradesmen is I become overly Scottish, right? And I start swearing a lot more. Because I think that's what they want to hear, right? There was 2 guys coming to fit carpets in our house one day. Right? I was so nervous about them coming. I answered the door and just went, in you come, you couple of cunts. And I was like, what is that? What? Right. But Bond, ultimate man. Seen a new James Bond film? Yeah, you not seen it? No, you not seen it? No, he dies at the end. It's my favourite bit of the whole show. I'm going to miss that so much. Because I love them. Before I was going to the new one, read all these articles by proper men, and they were going, oh God, the new Bond film, it's so woke. Oh God, it's so woke. So gay. Such a gay film. He has a child, it's so gay. He's got a child as well. So gay. It's so gay that he has a child. It's gay that he has a child. I've got 2. I'm practically Philip Schofield, for fuck's sake. The same guy ended the article by going, it's unrealistic. It is unrealistic to think that James Bond would have a child. It's unrealistic to think that James Bond would have a child. I'm amazed he's not got thousands of children. He has sex with 6 women every film while he's working. While he's on the job. What do you do for a job? You're a software product manager. You've never had sex with any woman ever. It's not so. It's not 6 a day, is it? No. 6 while he's working. Imagine how much damage James Bond does when he's not working. Imagine how much fanny James Bond gets in a Witherspoons on a Saturday night. My ideal next James Bond, Idris Elba. Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see a black James Bond. Love to see it. Next Doctor Who's black? Black Doctor Who now. Can't wait for that new series to see the Metropolitan Police constantly pulling over the TARDIS. Just like that. It's fucking... Just Daleks running amok because he's been arrested for carrying a screwdriver. So 2 kids. Is it 23? How old's the other one, Mark? 27. You thought about having any more? Nah. 2's enough, isn't it? Yeah, you can anyway. All right, fucking keep it light, Mark. Says an embarrassing body, so let's not. I'll be pulling your cock out and showing me it. Like I'm not. So we've talked about having a third, and like those conversations are very, very short. Like, if we're ever at a party and there's a newborn, if my wife holds it, I'll slap it out of her hands. It's like it's like a live grenade, and I'll jump on it. Because listen, there's loads of reasons why we wouldn't have a third. One of them is the reason we nearly never had any children, right? And it's completely my issue. It's completely my problem. I find hairy babies really weird, like really, really creepy. You know, a really hairy baby. You know, really like a baby that comes out looking Mexican. Like, you know, a baby that comes out and you go, "Have you got a full-time job? What are you?" And that used to creep me out until I found out if they come out with no hair, do you know why that is? They've eaten their own hair in the womb. Ugh. How much worse is that? God, I would fart. I'd rather my wife gave birth to Burt Reynolds than some creepy bald thing coming out and picking bits of the carpet just like that. They're also, as we go down with children, they're losing respect for me. They are. Like my wee girl, fucking incredible relationship we have. Love each other. My son, just before the Fringe, called me a genuine fuckball. I was like, what? You can't even get mad. Like, creativity behind that. I can't deal with other parents again either. I can't. Because you don't care. Like, see, when you're younger, you didn't care. You just hung about with whoever was your same size as you. You didn't realise the wankers that you inflicted on your mum and dad. Honestly. You have to deal with them every day. There's a guy at our school, right? He comes to school every day on a hoverboard. Generally. He just glides in like that every day. His kid doesn't have one. He just drags the kid behind him like that. Like. I hate him so much. Every day I dream about hitting him with my car. I can't. I won't get away with that again. The worst thing I find is, and you might have found this, Mark. What's your name, Mark's wife? Kathy. And what's your name, my man? Ben. Right. See, when Ben and your other son were growing up, do you ever feel like hypocrites? When you're teaching them stuff, do you ever feel like hypocrites telling them not to do things that you've already done? Yeah. Yeah, because you're further on than me. I'm not looking forward to that. Because I can't. Like, there's certain things I can't. Like, I can't advise young people. I can't advise my kids. When I was younger, I was told I had to go to university. If I didn't go to university, I would make nothing of myself. So I went to university, and I have made nothing of myself. I was paid to go. The government paid me. The government invested in me. What a terrible investment I was. Like, I was like Bitcoin. Like... You can't, there's so much other stuff, you'll know this yourself, there's so much other stuff. There's a girl in America, right? She nearly died at Christmas. Her job, she sells farts in a jar. Farts in jars. $30,000 per jar. I know. It's disgusting, isn't it? You realise you were sitting in a gold mine on Boxing Day, just like that, like this. Like, I'm not trying to say my farts would be as fragrant as a 21 California girl's. Oh, imagine hers smell like a freshly cut meadow, whereas mine smell like this place. Drugs is the worst. It's the one I'm really not looking forward to. Really not looking forward to. Like, I don't know if you did drugs back in the day, Mark and Kathy. No. Kathy, you're very certain about that. Mark, not so much. Yes, I hear you. I'm pretty sure I bought drugs off you once, Mark. That's what I'm like. I can't claim the kids not to take drugs after what I've done. Like, and I don't know if you two do as young people. Normally, I would have encouraged you to go out tonight and take all the drugs. Take everything you get your hands on. But now, I discourage you. I do. Because, and there's a reason, I don't think they should be for you. I don't think they should. It's not fair. They're not, you don't need them. You don't. Me and Mark, we need them. Don't we, Mark? We need them. We need to stop this stigma about older people taking drugs. Because it's frowned upon and it shouldn't be. Like if you two emerged from the bathroom cubicle together, right? Folk would just go, oh, these young kids enjoying life. If me and you came out of the bathroom together, Mark. Well, there's a couple of guys that have never seen their children again. Like, it's so embarrassing. I'd have to pretend I'd been sucking you off. Like, you don't need them. Look at the pair of you. Fucking gorgeous, groomed, clear skin, sparkling eyes, well-dressed, hope. Talk to anyone. Look at me and Mark, for fuck's sake. Look at us. Take the four of us out and put us in a line-up out there and ask a passerby who needs MDMA more. Honestly. If we went for a couple of pints after this, Mark, we'd go on, a couple of pints, bit of chat, and then we'd go our separate ways. If me and you had a gram each. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're fucking flying over to his house, aren't we? And just like... just the three of us. I can't claim drugs are bad. I can't. Because if I'm perfectly honest, if it wasn't for drugs, one of my children wouldn't exist. It's true. Like, it's a time I never want to have to talk about, honestly. I never want to, oh, Dad, tell me about the time you and Mummy made me. Because the story you want to tell him as well, it was our anniversary. And I booked me and your mum into a cabin in the hills. And as the sun was setting, we lay down in front of this lovely open log fire. We wrapped ourselves in a lamb's wool rug. We made love. And we made you. And we were given the greatest gift possible. That's the story you want to tell. You don't want to have to go, well, one night me and your mum went to see the Stone Roses. Now, we hadn't taken ecstasy in about 10 years. Now, you know what your mum's like on Eckies. Oh. Horny as fuck. We didn't even make the gig, sweetheart, honestly. Like, most of the night was spent with me fingering her in a McDonald's car park. Just like that. Should film Batman a bit here. That's it. I'm surprised you're even born, to be honest, because when we got home, she passed out. I spunked in the sheets, and then I'm assuming at some point she rolled in it. So. That's been lovely. Thank you so much for this. Now, normally at this kind of time, at the end of the show, proper Fringe comedians, you know, they'd wrap up the show nicely and they'd show the narrative arc. And we'd all reflect on what we'd learned in the past hour. And they might tie it nicely up with a great callback. But I'm not going to patronise you like that. All I'll say is, like, you've done a good job. The two of you. You have done a good job. He seems a very nice young man. I don't know what the other one's like, but he seems good. You've done good. You should be proud of yourselves. Because that's what I'm worried about, protecting my wee boy. Because I don't want my wee boy to grow up like me. I don't. I want him to be so much better than me. Like, I want him to have a job. Like, I want him to have a job where he's not unsure about it and insecure about being in it and whether he's doing the right thing all the time like I am. I want him to be a proper man. I want him to be a guy like you. Just a unit. That's what I want. I want my boy to be a unit, right? Barter tradesman, and I want him to grow up in a more just society than you two are, so that he gets a fairer share of things. And I want his kids I want him to be his kid's hero, you know, because I don't want in years to come for my son to be sitting there with some therapist talking shite, right? And them unpicking the past and suddenly the penny to drop with him and for him to go, if only he'd caught it in the volley. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so, so much for this. It's been awesome. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Now, I very much appreciate you trying to start a standing ovation there, but however, clearly they do not respect you as much as I do. So, the reason I did it with the Monkey Barrel this year is generally not just because they're one of the best people, they've been an absolute joy to deal with. It's because they're one of the only clubs that actually treat performers fairly and they treat audiences fairly. And we've kept prices properly low. And just before we go, guys, this is the last show. Could you please give a massive, massive round of applause to Iain, the tech, who's been fucking incredible all month. And a huge round of applause to the staff at the Hive, who have been an absolute joy the entire month. Thank you. Thank you for making this the best possible way to round off the best Fringe I've ever had. I hugely appreciate it. I'll see you at the back. Thank you. Cheers.